Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back to the next episode of the Coronavirus Girls Ask Guys show lockdown season.
Super fun.
We are going to be doing a slight little book review / what the hell is going on? Why are people still reading this trash? Because that's pretty much what it is.
It's actually kind of insane when we found it. John found it and he sent it to me because we're looking for show ideas all the time. And we kind of were like, oh, let's look at dating trends. And then we found these rules apparently that we didn't know existed, or we wouldn't even have wasted our time, because this woman is such a fucking genius that she has basically outlined how to find a guaranteed husband with 35 very, 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 very ridiculous rules. Now, this book was written in 1995, so it's a little outdated, and by little I mean like it should have been written in 1800s. And it's written by Elle
in the
Fain.
top 100 on
Right.
Amazon.
Ladies, do better. Like, seriously. Elle Fain and Sherry Schneider, and they are apparently experts when it comes to how women should approach, not approach men. How women should be approached by men.
Yes, how women should act in order to get a guaranteed husband if you follow all 35 rules.
See, and as we go through these, I want you guys to check down, ladies, as we go through these, I want you to check down the ones that you're willing to do and the ones that are absolutely ridiculous. And I can guarantee you that we're going to match up, because some of these rules are not only ridiculous, they're manipulative, and some of them are just downright stupid.
And manipulative is the key word, because there are plenty of books out there for guys to get the girl, to get the woman, do all these little tips and tricks and all this other crap in order to rein her in, and the shit doesn't work. It doesn't. I've done this for 30 fucking years, and I know what works and what doesn't. I've been there, done that, and I've used almost every single one of these things. And they don't work. They might work. I'll take that back. They might work for maybe a couple of hours, but try it again, and they're like, why the hell are you doing that again?
Right. And like any other dating book, this is just absolutely ridiculous. And that's because what dating books fail to actually realize is that when you find the right person, chances are it's because you're being your best self and they're being their best self, and you guys are both really happy where you are. It's got nothing to do with who talks first, who pays first. None of that shit actually matters in any grand scheme of things. And if you feel like it does, then you need to find someone else who does. But if you are like me and John and you say most of those, most of those dating rules are fucking outdated and just ridiculous, you don't need any of these.
Now, they say these are time-tested.
Time-tested.
Bullshit.
What time? Like, what time period in the world? Like
1772.
As you guys go through this, you'll hear how rudimentary, how dumb some of these rules are, especially in this day and age. So this book definitely didn't age well. And so let's jump into it with number 1. Be like any other creature.
And this one, I can't totally disagree with it, but it's a half truth.
Right.
Because they're saying, build up your self-esteem and build yourself up and get ready for the date. Okay, I don't know of too many people that don't already do that. They're going to get a little bit fancy, especially for a first date. You're going to drag out the shirt that you haven't worn for the last 2.5 years. You have to throw it into the washer because it kind of smells musty.
Like iron it, get all fancy.
Guys are going to pull out that cologne that they wear only when they want to impress somebody. Other than that, it just kind of sits there and kind of have to dust the cap off.
Yep.
But then they totally nullify the whole thing. And they say, just show up. Ta-da, I'm here.
Like poof. You rang, you know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. No, when you show up and you're happy to be there. You don't just show up nonchalantly. You should be excited. It's your first date. And as we go through these rules, you'll see that they want this demure, like very old school 50s or no 30s, like 30s glam kind of woman, you know, with the sexy bedroom eyes and the calm demeanor who has all the poise. Fuck that bullshit. Like, if you are a rock and roll queen, be a rock and roll queen.
And their second rule is don't talk to a man first and don't ask him to dance.
That's exhausting.
This one I have to totally disagree with adamantly, because I've been at clubs and at functions and just at different places. I've been at conventions and I've had a very attractive woman walk up and introduce herself. And I didn't even know she was even there.
Right.
I was like on the complete opposite end of the convention center or on the other side of the bar. And I didn't even notice her because I was busy talking with everybody else. So if she hadn't come up and talked with me, it would have been a missed opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like, what do you mean don't talk to a man first and don't ask him to dance? Are you kidding me?
Oh, wait, it gets even better with rule number 3.
Right. And so when we talk about rule number 2, it's just so goddamn stupid, because if you see something that interests you, you go up and you get it. Like, fuck this whole waiting for your opportunity bullshit. Create your opportunity, and that could be the best fucking relationship of your life. Rule number 3 is go for it.
Well, even on the last show, we were talking with the Aditya from India, and he had social anxiety. He was scared to go up and talk to a girl. So how many missed opportunities were there? Now, if a girl saw him and he saw her, he wants to talk to her, but he's scared. She wants to talk to him, but rule number 2 says she can't.
She can't. Right.
So how is that supposed to work? Now, if they actually talked to each other, one of them did the first approach. Either he sucked it up and went, okay, I want to do this. Or she's just like, fuck this, I want to do it. And then they're married.
Right.
A year, 2 years later, and
right.
80 years down the line, they're still married. But no, rule number 2 says, don't talk to a man first.
Don't do that. That's terrible. And in the vein of rule number 2 being just really terrible, let's move to rule number 3. Don't stare at men or talk too much. Now, I am not a fan of telling anybody not to talk too much. I understand the idea if you don't want to talk someone's ear off, but fuck, how else are you going to keep a conversation going? What are you going to give, like 1-2 word answers and have them just keep like hounding you as if it's an interrogation? That's not how you engage in proper conversation. The don't stare thing, I think, is okay. I'm not a big, no, I stare a lot. I'm weird, but I like to look people in the eye when I talk to them. So I don't necessarily think that's weird or disrespectful.
And their thing is, okay, don't talk to a man first. The reason that they say that is because he has to do the approach first. He has to like how you look. He will be more into you. Now, if he doesn't, then it's going to become a problem later on, and you can expect him to leave or cheat.
Are you kidding me?
So everything is based off of looks instantly. Okay. So if no guy approaches you at all, it means that you have something physically wrong with you.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Let's
and it's
get the fuck away from that stuff already. I think we've pretty much hounded that into the ground. Now, with this one, number 3, don't stare at men. If you stare at a guy, then he knows that you like him, and it's game over.
That's ridiculous. Like, what the fuck is so wrong with knowing somebody likes you? Obviously, don't be a fucking weirdo. And
actually,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, if she's throwing me glances, then
clearly she's interested.
Clearly she's interested. Okay, let's go find out what she's about.
Right, there's a signal right there.
Yeah, there's some kind of cue for me to kind of work off of. And it's really up to me to fuck everything else up.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck, lady? Okay, and mind you guys, this is only rule number 3. It gets worse.
They also say that flirting is contrived, which goes along with number 3. Actually, I kind of enjoy flirting. If I know what kind of,
like a good.
You start off with just a couple light flirting, and then it becomes like the innuendos, and especially if you know what type of flirt you are or what type of flirting you're using, go read the website. We have the 5 types sitting out there. It becomes like a dance, and
yeah, it's really fun, guys.
It can be fun, but
I'm at a loss for words with how ridiculous that entire rule is.
Along with this one, just don't stare, don't talk too much. There's also an underlying rule: don't be funny.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so like, what are you supposed?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What is she turning these women into? Robots? Like, don't be funny. Don't stare. Don't talk too much.
Mhm.
Don't talk to him first. Like, you have to sit there with one word answers and try not to be clever.
And if you make
because
him
God
mad,
forbid-
it means that he's interested.
Yes. Let's give him a reason to be upset. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Listen, ladies, this comes from me. You have my full permission to be funny. You have my full permission to talk to someone first. You are a fucking adult. You are a human being.
Yeah, it's at the top of almost everybody's list. What are you looking for? Or what do you want them to have? Number one, a sense of humor.
Every fucking
Almost every
time.
fucking list.
No shit.
Sense
It's
of
like
humor.
you want them to be honest and have a sense of humor. So if I'm on a date with somebody and they're not only are they not funny, but they're short answered and they're not looking me in the eye, I'm going to think there's something fucking wrong with them. And this to me is painting into a picture where women need to be meek and timid. No, bitch, you be you. If you are a loud woman and you like to make people laugh and you want to be all these things, go for it. There's a man out there who wants that. Some guys like
some
very
guys
loud women.
looking for that. Be honest.
Right. This is ridiculous.
We don't have rules. We have guidelines and suggestions.
Yep.
They don't work for everybody, but maybe just a little bit of this and a lot of this, put those together and it works. And for somebody else, it's going to be the exact opposite. And wow, okay,
Whoop-de-doo.
this is working.
You know? Yeah, I'm in a happy relationship. And it's not because I was unlike any other creature. It was because I'm myself. And it wasn't because I didn't talk first, because I did. And it's not because I didn't stare, because I think it's important to make eye contact with people. So not staring in the concept of that is totally ridiculous. And not staring too much, I get. You don't want to come off as like a creepy stalker person. But those signals help people understand. Sometimes that nonverbal communication can really get you through a rough patch of deciding whether or not to talk to somebody.
And then we have number 4. Okay. Let me know if you
I have
think
a
this is
very
going to work.
fucking big issue with this.
Don't meet him halfway.
Oh my God.
Okay. Relationships are like 50-50. You give some,
100
he
to 100.
gives some.
Right.
Yeah. Or as one of our guests said, 100 and 100. You give 100%, he gives 100%, and now you've got this perfect relationship. But you don't meet him halfway. What
the
fuck
fuck does that even
mean?
mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, and let's say we're talking about proximity.
Make him walk all the way up the stairs?
Right. Yeah, let's put this in a very simple way. Like, you guys want to be together, and instead of both of you walking down the stairs and meeting in the middle, he has to exert all this fucking energy, and then you wonder why, and this sounds crazy, but making someone exert all the energy in a relationship is not a good fucking look, because when they're tired, nothing's gonna get solved.
I don't get that. I'm just
This
like,
is problematic as fuck.
if she's not meeting me halfway on at least a few things, then it's over and done with. I mean, if
Absolutely.
I'm asking questions, I'm getting like these half-assed answers, like the one that we've been using for the last umpteen shows. What kind of superhero do you like? Or what kind of superpower would you want? I don't know.
Right. Like, are you kidding me?
The fuck?
Like,
I'm
bitch,
trying to start a
what the
conversation
fuck?
here.
Like, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like, how dare you say don't meet him halfway? Like, don't. This whole nonsense of chasing women 100% is absolutely absurd.
No,
And then the next part of this is even worse.
Oh yeah, let's go into this one because this is really going to make a whole hell of a lot of sense.
Don't go Dutch on the first date. So don't pay for yourself.
Yeah,
You
don't go
expect
Dutch on a
him
date.
to pay for you.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, he has to pay for everything. Look, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Because I've gone out on dates and I've offered to pay, and they're like, "No, I've got this." And I was like, "Well,
All right.
I invited you out. I mean, it's only natural that I would pay for it." No, I have my half. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with her.
Right.
And if she wants to pick up
Right,
the
like,
whole
yeah.
tab and I'll pick up the next tab,
Shit.
I've had that before where they're like, "Well, I'll pick up one and you can pick up the next one." And we just did that the entire relationship. We did that for like 4 months, just back and forth, back and forth. Did you get the last one or did I?
Right.
That's
It's not that big of a deal. I
no.
mean, I understand the idea that men pay on the first date, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it's like a thing. And that's fine. But here's the thing, ladies. You should always have money to pay
Yes.
for yourself. You don't know what kind of financial situation that man is in. And you should not expect him as a grown fucking adult. You should not expect him to be paying everything, especially if you want to build down the line, if you want this to turn into something long term. Because guess what? The minute you give somebody total control over your finances, they have total control over your life. So you need to establish first and foremost that you are independent, because that is how you end up a fucking punching bag.
And some guys, they actually, like myself, I want a strong, independent woman.
Right.
But
Who the
at
fuck
the
wants
same
to be paying
time,
for everything?
at the same time, I know what to expect with that independence. I mean, she's not going to be at my every beck and call. And
Right.
on the inverse of that, she's not expecting me to be at her beck and call.
Right.
But when we're going out and the relationship starts building, we have to give up a little bit of that independence, and it can be unnerving at times.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some give and take there, and you kind of have to use that little thing that sits in your head called a brain.
Right. A little bit of intuition wouldn't kill you. I mean, as far as we're on the first 4 rules, moving on to number 5
is going to
is just,
really...
it's the worst. Don't call him and rarely return his calls.
Yeah,
Excuse
don't call
me?
him and rarely return his phone calls. What the fuck? Oh, I thought she was interested.
Right? Like, what do you mean rarely return? Excuse me? Like, if I call you and you don't return my phone calls, like I call you once a day, maybe, because I want to speak with you because I enjoyed the time with you. So I call you once a day, and then you call me back 2 weeks later. I'm sorry, but we clearly have a miscommunication in what being an adult means and being able to speak to each other means. I don't think that's okay.
No, it's not. I mean, this just blows me away. Because if we meet someplace and I give you my phone number and you give me your phone number, okay, I work 12-hour shifts that are fucking insane. I mean, trying to explain my schedule to somebody, I mean, even trying to explain it to Ashley, is like I have to do mental gymnastics in order to explain it. I can imagine what it's like for them trying to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I do, and it's hard for me to explain. So I may not be able to call like the next day because I work nights. And it's definitely not going to be in the evening when you're off work because I'm already working. Unless you want to get a call at 4 a.m. and that's not going to work. So more than likely, if we are interested in each other, you're going to have to call me and leave a message so that I can call you back. And when I call you back, well, you, according to the second part of this, you rarely return the call.
Like, what the fuck kind of nonsense is that? And this is, once again, this is why we have this culture where people are afraid to even be themselves, because some people do like to talk on the phone. I'm a talker. I mean, and it's just to me like if I was putting that much energy into somebody and they're not even respecting me enough to have a phone call, hey, we're going to have an issue.
Yeah.
We're going to have a serious issue because then we're clearly not matched up correctly. And if I have to wait a week for you to call me back because you decide that you're not going to return my phone calls, you don't want to, it's this narrative of like, what is it called? Fuck, I just lost my train of thought. Playing hard to get. It's this whole hard to get narrative. And
that's what this is.
This is just exhausting. And
because apparently men like challenges.
Yes.
We do like challenges, but we don't want to have to climb to the top of Mount Everest and scale down the backside of it. That's freaking ridiculous. And then always end the phone calls first. Okay, now according to them, when you're on the phone, your calls have to be 10 minutes and under. Only stay on the phone with them for 10 minutes. They actually have a video of one of these authors. It's the Schneider lady. She's now totally taken this thing over. She's on a video with an egg timer. She sets it for 10 minutes. And once it goes ding, I have a million things to do. I have to go. Thank you for calling. Click.
Yep.
What the fuck?
I don't even, I could not, I don't know. Maybe it's, like I said, maybe it's just because I'm a talker. but I like to talk to people. I like to get to know them. I like to share stories and have a good time talking to them and enjoy
and I'm
their
actually
company.
more of a talker than you are.
That's true. Oh my God. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I can only imagine how long. But I mean, it's just it's a matter of like, I enjoy talking to someone. So if I'm being timed on how long I can talk to them, I'm not going to want to.
No,
it's not me.
It's actually difficult for me to stay within a time frame. Ashley can attest to that because she's like, we got to go. We got to go. And I'm like, oh, and?
Yeah. This is true. And believe it or not, I am a talker. I'm very focused sometimes. And that's the thing. We're talkers. So the idea, think about this. You cut me off after 10 minutes. We do 45-minute shows. We started with 30-minute shows, extended them to 45-minute shows because we talk that much.
And our last show, we actually started that. It was 3:00 in the morning when we connected with him. And if you listen to the entire show, towards the end, it was 5:00 in the morning. We talked for over 2 hours and shortened that show down to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So we got rid of a lot of stuff, just extraneous nonsense that had nothing to do with the topic that we were on. But anyways, yeah. Then they have rule number 7. Don't accept a Saturday night date after Wednesday.
What the fuck? This is so goddamn stupid. Let me tell you something, okay? And this is how I know this
must
woman
really work for doctors.
Right, exactly. or truck drivers or anybody with a fucking job, really. Because you know what? Sometimes those last minute plans, you have to wait. Some people get their schedules on Wednesday. So they say, hey, I'll let you know when I get my schedule.
Yeah, and call them Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, are you good for... No, I guess you have to call me early next week. Because according to them, if he's really interested in you, he will call early in the week to set up the next week's dates.
What the No. When he's available, when you're available. That is how that works. You are not... First of all, this whole entitlement thing, like, I can't with it.
I agree with, don't call me Saturday morning for a Saturday night date. That's not going to work.
Right.
But it's perfectly acceptable if you call me Thursday or Friday. Because I could say, look, let's go out on Saturday. It's my day off. And then I get called up. Hey, I've got to cancel because I just got called into work. Something's going on. Okay. Now, they actually have further down in this list. We'll get to it, but I'm going to expose it now. Stop going out with them if they cancel more than once. Okay, so I've got 1 strike rule. The fuck is that? I mean, okay.
1 strike.
Yeah.
1 strike. And that's the worst part because I think when it comes to all of this, especially as you work and you know, some of us have, my job's very weird about, actually, I pretty much never stop working, truth be told. And it's not that I have like I don't want to. It's just I work with a lot of people in different time zones, so I have to be on. But when I find that time, if it's on a Wednesday, if it's Thursday night, and I say, hey, listen, I took Saturday off to spend time with you, why the fuck wouldn't you say yes? Especially if you don't, if you work a traditional Monday through Friday job.
Yeah, or if you have weird hours where you're constantly on call or something like that. I mean, this leaves like no room. And they say, oh, use your common sense, but we'll get to that because they have a caveat for it.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh my gosh. Okay, fill up your time before the date. Yeah, it's called getting ready.
Right, exactly. I don't understand what fill up your time doing. What are you supposed to go run all your errands that you have to do? Like go pay your light bill, go do everything. No.
What you can't start the date a little bit early. Hey, I'm running a little bit early. It's okay if we meet at 4 instead of 5?
Right.
Can I get a little extra time? Nope, busy.
Right, no. Yeah, really. I mean, think about this. Like when you're getting prepared for that date, they tell you to psych yourself out, do all that stuff. I think it takes a solid maybe 2 hours, and I'm not even one of those like I shower, but I'm not one of those like super long get ready people. But you psych yourself up. You're just kind of calming your nerves. You're focusing. I believe in focus and meditation and all those things. So that's what I do. Like you people don't even, or not you people. These people who wrote this are ridiculous.
Sit at home with a bucket of ice cream watching Netflix instead of going out and having a good time on a Saturday night because he called me Thursday.
Right.
hell?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, a bucket of ice cream sounds delicious. Like now I'm thinking of like a 5-gallon bucket of ice cream.
Yeah.
That sounds magical, and I'm very excited for it. We might not even get through all 35 today's, guys.
Well, actually, we can
'cause
skip
these are
9 and 10 because
Yeah.
those are how to act on dates 1 and 2. But
which I
they-
don't
they
even
do
want to get
have,
into. 'Cause
for the first few weeks, months, they don't really specify. You only meet them once a week. And then for the remainder of the entire relationship, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, twice a week, maximum.
That's ridiculous. How do you even begin?
Well, less is more.
No, I think you spend as much time with the person as they want to spend with you. I think that's the way that works.
There are times when it becomes too much. It's called being clingy,
Mhm.
but don't be clingy.
I'm clingy, and it's kind of gross, but people love it eventually. Or I just kind of get over the clinginess and realize that there's a new show on Netflix
Yeah.
that I'm gone for a week. But there's nothing wrong with spending a lot of time with someone. If you guys are,
Yeah, there's always that honeymoon phase, and yeah, you kind of do want to spend a lot of time with them, and those do kind of work out to be some of the better relationships, especially if you are communicating well, but you can't talk too much. So kind of ends that. Okay, so number 11, always end the date first. Okay, ladies, there you go. You can end the date early.
I thought ending a date is mutual.
It was fun. Been 15 minutes, but I'm out. No, look, I can't totally disagree with it, but either one of you can end the date whenever. My recommendation is end the date on a high note. If after you go out and you do something really fun, I've kind of given out my dates and how I do them. We start off just kind of having a conversation over a cup of coffee, and then we'll go for a walk someplace, kind of get the conversation really moving, change environments, and then go do something fun, and then end the date.
Yep. It's very simple. And usually, I don't know, I think people usually end dates mutually.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want the date to like die down. We're kind of sitting there going, okay,
Just twiddling your
now
thumbs.
what do you want to do? What sounds fun to you? No, end the date on a high note, and they remember that high note. They remember the different locations. Each location seems like it was a different time. So you have that time warp thing. It's a real thing where you kind of compress everything. Each location becomes its own memory.
Mhm.
And then you end the date on a high note, and if it ends on a good high note, it leaves them wanting more.
Exactly.
So getting the second date is fucking simple.
Right, exactly. And it doesn't have to, and it's not going to happen because you ended the date first, by the way.
And it's not manipulation. It's a natural thing.
Yep.
Think of some of your best dates, and did you go out with them again? Yes.
Probably.
More than likely.
All right,
Okay.
so what's the next one?
Stop dating him if he doesn't buy you a romantic gift for your birthday or Valentine's Day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I will let you rant on this one because I know it's in your heart, John.
I am terrible. Actually, Ashley sent me a message, and she's like, "Hey, are we good for recording today?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Just finishing talking with my mom. Oh, wish her happy Mother's Day. I didn't even know it was Mother's Day."
Dude, that was so funny. I'm like, wish your mom a happy Mother's Day. And you're like, it's Mother's Day? And I'm like, oh my God. You just sat on the phone with your mother for 2 hours and you didn't even, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Some people are just horrible
I'm
with dates.
terrible with dates. If it doesn't pop up on my calendar or in a reminder, I am terrible. Tell you the truth, I forgot my mom's birthday. So, I mean, I've had people come up to me and wish me happy birthday, and I'm like, huh?
Oh shit.
And I look at my watch like, oh fuck, yeah, it is today.
Look at that. It's my birthday. Yeah, no, that's an absolutely absurd notion. Not only that, some people don't have a lot of money. They might have a thoughtful gift. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to. And I mean, even if it is romantic.
I can think of thoughtful gifts. I've done thoughtful gifts. I've done romantic gifts. I've sat down and written entire songs for girls that I've liked. And I just gave it to them there was no special occasion. There was nothing there. I was just like, hey, I did this for you. Hope you like it.
I'm really good at gifts. I would like to say I'm a queen gift giver. And anyone who knows me can attest to that. I am an amazing gift giver. And I love to celebrate holidays. Any reason to celebrate is a reason for, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those people. Any reason to be happy is a cool time to give gifts. So, I mean, I don't agree with that. If they don't get you a romantic gift for Valentine's Day or your birthday, they may not.
Just straight up, that's it, we're done.
Right. Like,
damn, I hope I didn't meet him on February 13th.
Right.
Fuck.
I mean, I just think it's hilarious that that's a contingency. I mean, obviously, if you love somebody, you're going to make it a point to, or like somebody a lot, you're going to make it a point to make sure they feel special on Valentine's Day and on their birthday. But
yeah, I mean, there's some people, those days don't mean much of anything. Like, to me, I really don't care about my birthday. It's just another fucking day to me.
Right.
And as far as Valentine's Day, dude, the only reason that they exist is to sell shitloads of candy. Because I was a truck driver. By the way, the candy
is cheaper next day.
Yeah. No shit. When I was a truck driver, one of the companies that we had a contract with was one of the major candy manufacturers in the United States. And we started shipping that stuff, all that candy, to the distribution centers for the major stores in October.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how much candy we shipped. And they kept that stuff on hand from October to February.
Absolutely. Infuriating.
If you guys are into big holidays and stuff like that, that's fine. And I have no disagreement with buying somebody or giving somebody something that you've put some thought into. Just don't make it like a practical gift.
Like a whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, don't make it practical. Don't give them like a AAA card. Or get a free tire rotation.
Unless they're a practical person. Because,
yeah, now if they're a practical person, that's fine. But you were complaining about your carpet, so I got you a carpet cleaner.
I don't know. I'd be super thankful if someone got me a maid for 2 weeks. I would be so happy. Yeah, if you know the person, you know what they like. So it doesn't matter what you get them. Any gift is a romantic gift if it means something to that person. And you don't have to, I mean, it's not a deal breaker to me if someone doesn't get you something for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I want to say just straight up stop dating them, because it could have been they're not doing it on that specific date for a reason, because they have something else planned. I've done that when I actually did remember. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to do it on Valentine's Day. I'm going to actually do it on the 16th.
Yeah.
But okay, let's see. Number 13. Don't see him more than once or twice a week. Okay, we've kind of covered that one. No more than casual kissing on the first date.
You're a grown-ass person. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Tell you what, I haven't made a big deal out of this, and the only place I'm going to actually go into it is in one of our courses. I have a technique that I use, and it could start off seemingly like a casual kiss, but it very rarely ends up being just casual kissing.
Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. You're an adult. Okay, the next one.
See, don't rush into sex.
I don't disagree, but I also don't agree.
Yeah, I can't totally disagree or agree with that one. You're a grown-ass adult. If you're out for a hookup, go for it. If that's what you want for that night, or if you're a FWB, there you go. But if you're out for more, I would say, put it off for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Build the anticipation.
A little bit of anticipation. But if that's where the night goes, that's where the night goes.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, there's no real rule when it comes to, intimacy on the first date. Get as intimate as you want.
Yeah.
Some people get super intimate the first date and they end up dating forever. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, if it happens, it happens.
I've heard of the 3-date rule. I've heard of the 3-week rule. I've heard of the 7-date rule.
10-date rules. I mean, I've heard.
Whatever rule you want to follow. If that's you, then that's you. Okay?
Next one.
Don't tell him what to do. Well, that also works in reverse, guys. Don't tell her what to do.
Right. You guys are dating. You're not superior.
Yeah, you're not the managers.
Right. Yeah. No, you don't. Let him take the lead if that's what you want.
You don't write my paycheck. I'm not listening to you.
Fucking boss me around on a date. Like, what do you think? Stand up, take left, or ordering for someone. I sometimes do that, but that's because I'm awesome.
They kind of follow this with don't rush into sex. They're also saying during sex, don't tell him what to do. Fucking hell, tell me. Tell me.
Right.
What do you like? What do you want?
Right. Exactly.
And it drives me up the fucking wall when the relationship gets to that point and she's a fucking starfish.
Right.
I'm like, are you okay? Uh-huh.
Man,
Well,
it's
you're
such
not
a great
moving.
time.
You're not saying anything. No,
It looks
it's
really
good.
uncomfortable from this position. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Do I need you to sign a consent form before you leave? Because this doesn't seem like something we're both enjoying. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I'm not a fan
I
of
want
that.
an uninhibited woman.
Right. There's a difference
Yeah.
between, like, bossing someone around and being direct about what you want. You need to be direct about what you want. You don't
Yeah.
boss them around.
It takes a while, but let me know what your hopes and your desires are. I mean, what do you want to try? I mean, guys, women are freaky, just as freaky
Very
as
much
us.
so.
You just have to
Actually-
give them permission to be freaky.
I'd say a little more. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Let
true.
him take the lead.
If that's what you want. But some guys like like some men really like those very like in charged women. You know what I mean? Like they love that shit. And if that's what you like, that's what you like. Some women like aggressive men. I mean, there's no wrong way to go about it. As long as you find someone who likes your
That's
level of
defining
aggression.
the relationship. What kind of, do you want the traditional roles? Do you want blended roles? I mean, what role do you want to have? And what role do you want to have? Okay, can we meet somewhere in the middle? It's defining the relationship. We've talked about that. But just like giving everything up and we're going to McDonald's. Okay, you're in
Right.
charge. I was kind of hoping for Burger King, but burger's a burger.
That's
What
true.
the fuck?
Yeah, people are ridiculous. I mean, what's the next one? Where are we? Number
18.
18. Don't expect it to change or to try to change him. I agree with this one, actually. You shouldn't try and change anybody.
Yeah.
You should be okay with who they are and let them change by themselves.
Yeah. You like certain types of music and certain types of movies, certain types of TV shows, and he likes something else. And eventually you both find out that you're now listening to his music and he's watching your movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there's red flags, then don't try to change them. Get the fuck out of there.
Yep.
Okay, don't open up
it's
too
unnecessary.
fast. Well, you don't
I
talk
agree.
too much, so
Right,
you
yeah,
can't
you
open up
can't.
too fast. But be honest but mysterious. Okay, that was 19 and 20. Be honest but mysterious. I like a little bit of mystery. I mean, kind
Everybody
of
likes
keep
a
me
little
guessing.
bit.
Yeah,
A little bit of mystery. I don't need to, like, have to Google you to find out your last fucking name, though.
yeah. I don't want to be Sherlock Holmes. I mean,
Right.
But everybody likes a little bit of mysteriousness. But also be honest. We actually open up with that. Be honest with yourself so you can know what you want, and then be honest with the other person about who you are. Ta-da! But I don't need to know your entire life story within the first 5 minutes of meeting.
Right. Obviously, yeah, just let it in slowly, and that's cool. So we
Yeah.
agree with that one. So it's probably like 2 out of 20.
Kind of like maybe 2 3/4 out of 20.
Right. So we're doing great.
Yeah.
Sherry, you're excellent person. And then
Accentuate the positive.
okay.
Okay, I can kind of agree with that. But still, everybody has body issues. Most time, people don't even notice it unless you point it out.
Mm.
Okay, in another manipulative book, actually several manipulative books, over on the guy's side, there were these things, they were called negs.
Yeah.
Negatives. And there was one that I used to use a lot because it built up that curiosity. They were always curious about what the fuck I was talking about. And I would just look at them and go, that was cute. Do that again. They're like, what? And there it is. What am I doing? Nope, you're doing it right now. And all it is that when people talk, especially people, almost everybody, and you kind of have to look at it and watch for it. But when people talk, the tip of their nose wiggles, especially people with short upper lips. It's a natural, it's a muscle, or actually it's more like a tendon that kind of runs down the middle of your nose to the middle of your lip. And so when you talk, the end of your nose wiggles.
The end of your nose.
Yeah.
Now I'm holding my nose while I talk.
Actually, it's easier if you look at it in the mirror.
I don't have a mirror, so I have to improvise. Actually, I have a cell phone in front of me, which is basically a mirror. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, but it's a negative. And when you
Yep.
point it out, it can actually make somebody very self-conscious about their face.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped doing it because I realized it, instead of building them up, I was actually making fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they become self-conscious about that. Now they're going to accentuate the positives. Ooh, I have big breasts. Let's accentuate the positives. I have
agree.
a great ass, and I'm going to hey, if you got it, flaunt it.
I
Okay.
agree wholeheartedly. Completely.
Yeah, but there's no reason to go overboard with it and try to cover up everything that you don't like about yourself. I've got big ears. I'm going to cover it up.
Some people like that.
Some people like people that have who are amputees.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, but look, be comfortable in your own skin.
Love yourself, man.
Yeah, love yourself. And every flaw you have. Love it. Because most people don't even notice it until
Mhm.
you point it out.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh. It's
even
so
then,
freaking true.
most of the time, they don't even, they're like, what? Really?
Well, I
Actually, I
don't
love
care.
your ears.
Right. Or I didn't even notice. Like, I'm so whatever. You know. So then the next one. Don't live with a man. All right. Don't rush into living, but if you guys plan on being together for a while as things get more serious, yes, by
Yeah.
all means move in, consolidate bills. If you find yourself spending every day at someone's house, you should probably move in so that you can save that rent money. But what do I know?
Actually, there was a study that came out that people who actually lived together before they got married actually have better marriages. So that whole thing kind of like blew up in everybody's face. Oh, you're shacking up. Damn right I am, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
That's it. Test the car before you fucking drive it home.
And don't leave things at his apartment. Well, don't leave your things at her apartment either.
Right. No, but I think that's stupid. Like, leave stuff.
I think it's stupid.
Always leave stuff.
Don't date a married man, number 23. Duh.
Yeah, right. Made that mistake dating a married person. It's not as
Yeah.
fun as you think. It's
Yeah.
actually pretty taxing.
Hey, let's reverse it. Don't date a married woman.
Hey, let's not date married people.
Yeah, married people who are
Boom.
married or consider themselves married. Yeah, don't
and
do it.
monogamous.
Yeah,
All
slowly.
right, what's next?
Yeah, slowly involve him in your family.
Yeah, I agree with that. Don't just
Oh.
introduce them immediately.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when I'm on the third date. Oh wait, come in.
Right. You want dinner?
Here's my grandfather and my aunt's
Right.
in town. And
Break up the
there's-
scrapbook.
Yeah, let's not do that. So, okay,
Pretty
practice. Getting
Practice the
good at
rules.
the rules.
simple. Okay.
What the fuck?
No,
No,
don't practice these rules. They're pretty dumb.
don't practice any of them except for the few that we've mentioned, like don't date married people.
Let's see.
Oh, this is awesome. Number 26.
Even if you're engaged or married, you still need the rules.
No,
you don't, because these are for dating and not for marriage and not for being engaged.
Well, actually, no. Actually, you don't need these because they came out with another book, Rules for Marriage, which has some incredibly terrible reviews.
I can
um,
only imagine.
Do the rules, even when your friends and parents think it's nuts.
That's what
No,
cult leaders
because
say.
they're actually right. You are nuts for even trying these.
That's what cult leaders say. That's a red flag for me in this entire. Like, this is the biggest red flag for the book. Even if everybody in the world is saying you are wrong, you just keep on going. No, come on. Like, there's a good chance that if your family is telling you that you're wrong,
Yeah, they're actually looking out for your best intentions. Like, go up and talk to him. He's great. He's looking over here. He wants to talk to you. I can't. I'm following. I'm doing
right,
doing rule number 2. Leave me alone.
right. God, Mom, you just don't fucking understand me. Like, that's literally what this basically says, which is absolutely ridiculous. Number 28, be smart.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I want an intelligent woman.
Wait, don't talk too much. Just be smart. So, like, always have the right answer, but never say it out loud.
Well, you can't talk too much.
Right.
So
So make it like a 10-word right answer.
I guess, or I'm not sure. Let me look it up on Google. Well, that no.
It's ridiculous.
Okay. Take care of yourself.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Duh. Like,
But-
the fact that people paid for this shit is beyond me.
Yeah.
Next. Okay, so this is that next thing.
Next is where, that's where you dump the guy because he canceled. He's calling to let you know he can't make it on the second date. or for the second time, so you're out. Or
naturally, that's what you do. You don't be an understanding human being.
The gift he gave you wasn't romantic.
Right. Oh my God, this is so dumb.
Yeah,
I'm so
number
glad we're at the end of
31.
this shit.
Number 31. This is the biggest red flag for me. Don't discuss the rules with your therapist. So, how are things going? I mean, you're only paying me $135 an hour, so I can't talk to you about it. Well, why not? Because the rules say I can't talk about it. The first rule of the rules is you don't talk about the rules.
Right. Like, what is this? A fucking dating? Like, this is unreal to me. Don't talk to your therapist about it. That to me means that it's probably fucking wrong. If I can't tell the person who is in charge of my mental health,
yeah,
about what I'm doing.
$135, but the insurance is covering the other $400. I mean, it's, oh my gosh. I mean,
right.
They kind of need to know everything in order to guide you.
Help you?
Yeah, in the direction in which to overcome whatever it is you're trying to overcome, depression or anxiety or whatever. But nope, can't discuss the rules. What the fuck?
I don't understand that. Like, who do you fucking think you are telling people not to talk to their therapist about something? When you are in a therapy session, you are in a safe place and you should be able to say
they are not therapists. Neither one of these people are therapists. Yeah. We're not therapists. We're not licensed psychologists. I've studied psychology and sociology, but I'm not licensed in any of that shit. I'm very upfront about it. And if you want to go and talk to your therapist about what we say on the show,
please
go right ahead.
And send us feedback.
Yeah, because we've actually had psychotherapists wanting to come on our show.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them actually agree with what we say.
Right.
And they want to add their 2 cents in, which I'm more than... They're the experts. They spent 18 years in fucking school studying it.
Imagine that. Imagine that. This woman, in her shitty-ass opinion, tells you not to talk to your therapist. All right, so number 32 is my favorite. Don't break the rules. Oh.
Yeah, that's where we were coming back to. That was the caveat to to that rule that we mentioned earlier. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, don't break them.
Yeah, you can't break the rules.
This is number 32 out of 30 fucking 5. So you mean to tell me that you wrote an entire goddamn book and didn't think to put "don't break the rules" first?
Yeah. Well,
fucking dumb.
Actually, I would say rule number 1 is you don't discuss the rules with your therapist.
Oh my God.
Then be the creature unlike any other. Show up.
Right. No. Yeah, this is insane, and so glad we're at the end of this list because my poor little heart can only take so much before it just attacks itself.
This is just, and all of this, or the vast majority of it, with the few exceptions that we actually agree with, is total manipulation. And how can you be yourself if you're not allowed to talk to anybody? You can't return their phone calls. You are manipulating, outright manipulating, by not returning their calls or waiting 4 hours to return a call.
Blatant manipulation.
Yeah, ending the date first instead of mutually. I mean, this no more than casual kissing on a first date. So if you want to like get into that passionate tongue swapping and tooth cleaning kiss, but nope, casual kissing only, then you're not being yourself. You're not being authentic. Don't see him more than twice a week, even though you want to, because less is more. This is utter manipulation.
And it's kind of disgusting.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this is a lot of what guys are taught as well. So now both of you are playing the game and going back and forth, wanting more, but you are playing by these ridiculous rules. Mm-hmm. Do the rules and you'll live happily ever after. Bullshit.
Imagine that. Jesus Christ. What kind of shit is this? Like, was this evaluated by the FDA? Because this drug is clearly a fucking crack epidemic. Yeah. Like, what kind of shit is this? This is just the worst. Like, follow all the rules, you'll be happily ever after. No, you'll be lying ever after.
Yeah. Love only those who love you. Whoa, there's one I can fully agree with.
Right, but what the fuck?
But how do you get to rule 34? The person you're trying to go out with didn't make it past rule number 6.
Right.
Or you broke up with him because he canceled twice because of work, or Valentine's Day or your birthday showed up and the gift wasn't romantic.
Right. It was thoughtful, but it wasn't romantic. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, this is the best one, though, guys. Listen to this one. Be easy to live with. Now, you are a person who is the most, like, if you're following all 35 of these rules, you are the most aggravating fucking person in the entire planet. You are not easy to live with, especially if someone has to do all the chasing, all the paying, all the this, all the that. Like,
yeah, I mean, I enjoy a challenge and I do enjoy chasing, but only up to a certain point. After a while, it just gets boring. This is why I actually got, this is one of the reasons, not the reason, but one of the reasons I got out of being a pickup artist, because it got boring. It got so, I mean, it was like, hey, how you doing? And okay, check in box. Okay, she did this, check in box. Okay, oh, there's that signal, check in box. I mean, it was like I was going down a fucking list and it got boring. And then I would meet those that kind of were a little bit more attuned to the dating realm. So it did become more of a chase. And even that got boring. I mean, I was just like, oh, okay, this time it took me 3 days. Check in box. Oh my gosh. People get tired of chasing and they want to be chased. Because if they are not chased, it feels like they're giving everything and they're not receiving anything back.
Right, exactly. And who the fuck wants that? That's not satisfying. It's not fun. It's exhausting. And then when that person meets somebody who's going to give them that mutual love and respect and all of those things, and you're like, why did they leave me? I don't know, because instead of actually putting effort into your relationship, you made somebody's fucking, you made somebody
change. The entire relationship is like one long, endless flirting session. I mean, you meet these couples and they're like, I love them more now than the day I met them. And they're talking, they've been married for like 50 years. They're like, our relationship today is better than it was 6 years ago. And we love each other more than we did 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Because their entire relationship is nothing but one long flirting session. This whole thing is
unacceptable.
And really, all that dating stuff, all that pickup artist stuff for men and women, just to let you know, in case anybody goes out and they're looking at purchasing this book. Okay, first off, it's going to cost you about $10, $8 to $10. It'll be the worst money you've ever spent.
Right. Save that $8 to $10. You're better off just going and like McDonald's and eating 9 fucking McDoubles.
You can go and sign up on their website for a coaching session. Okay, just to let you know, their coaching session, a 15-minute phone call. Okay, you're not going to meet them in person. It's not going to be over Skype. It's not going to be video or anything else. 15 minutes is going to cost you $500.
Jesus.
Now, it is documented that they will pull up your Instagram, they'll pull up your any of your other social media sites, and they will evaluate. It is on record of them telling women, are you comfortable being overweight? What the fuck?
Right.
You need a nose job. The one story that I was reading, she called and she had a 4-hour session, which runs $1,200.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. We have a course that we are building. It will be $1,200, but it lasts for 8 months. Okay. But you can spend that money and go over here and get their phone call for 4 hours and be berated and be told that you need to go get a nose job.
Yeah,
or that your photo is unflattering, even though that photo at the time, the woman was a professional model. And the photo is unflattering? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, she's a model. It was probably taken by a professional photographer. The photographer knows lighting and positioning and everything else.
Right. But this lady, this uneducated bitch who decided to write a 35 rule book is the person who's the authority to tell you
that you are unflattering and you're not attractive. Go get a nose job. What the fuck? You're not a therapist. You're not a doctor. But you're going to tell a woman who is if she follows these rules, these 35 rules, follow them, and you are guaranteed a husband, but you need to go get a nose job. Because apparently, since you're not doing rule number 2, or since you are doing rule number 2, and no guy is approaching you, because according to them, and this is quote unquote, If he doesn't like your looks, it won't be good for your future. Okay, so because of your nose, he might approach you, but he's not going to approach you, so it really doesn't fucking matter. I mean, you see how I'm trying to do mental gymnastics here, and I can't.
It's uncomfortable how fucking dumb this is.
Yes.
It's so dumb that I can't even with it. And I'm exhausted by it. And this whole thing makes me so angry that I want to punch this woman because she is just teaching people how to be manipulative. She's making relationships harder when they're already hard enough. Like, they are doing everything wrong, and people are just breaking.
No wonder people are so screwed up, because the guys are reading books that teach them how to manipulate. Women are trying to figure out what the fuck they are doing, and then they go and get one of the only books written for them, and it teaches them how to manipulate the guy. And no wonder we have MGTOWs. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Insane.
Yeah. This would, if I went out with every woman like this, I probably would join the MGTOW movement. That's how fucked up this is. Because
Sure, yeah, me too. I'd actually. I mean, it's just exhausting. Like, who wants to put in all this fucking effort just for somebody who doesn't put in effort back? I just think that's insane.
Yeah.
I think this whole thing is just not just a red flag. It's like a burning red flag, and it should be removed from stores.
Just look, ladies, for any lady listening to us, just be honest with yourself and love your body. I mean, just everything about it. If you have to, when you get home, strip down butt ass naked and just walk around your house and just become one with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds weird, but there's an entire movement out. It works. There's validated studies that actually say it does work. I haven't had to go that far. But
yeah.
anyways, just
that's it, guys.
Yeah, just love yourself. Be honest with yourself. The more honest you are with who you are and what makes you you, it makes it twice as easy for you to know the type of person that you are looking for. And then just be honest with them about who you are and let it go from there. All of this rules stuff and everything, you guys agree to call at 2:00 in the morning and talk for 7 hours, call at 2:00 in the morning and talk for 7 hours. I don't fucking care. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work for you, then stop doing it. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. I mean, if you want I'm not accepting any rules, any dates on Saturday if they don't call by Wednesday. If that's you, go for it. To me, it's utterly fucking ridiculous.
Absolutely.
But I'm not saying don't do it.
But seriously, I'm saying don't. If it does work for you, obviously it works for you, but I can guarantee you it won't, because this is just manipulation, and you're not going to be happy. Like, you're not going to be happy. So, well, don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, share, speak, shop.
Yeah, shop. We've got stuff on our website, and it's growing, and we've got so much stuff that we're working on in the background. And hopefully we will have the course that we have been talking about for the last, 5 months. Hopefully we will have that wrapped up. Right now I am knee deep in.
Very much so. Like, it's more like waist deep.
Actually, it's
like head deep.
Yeah, it's the bullshit is starting to cover my nose. I have this incredibly long, in-depth PDF that I'm developing for the course, and it's really to narrow everything down and make it very simple and easy for everybody to be able to show who they are. And I am not kidding. I have over 1,300 research studies that I'm backing this up with. I'm not putting all 1,300 up on the web on that course. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that much copy paste. My fingers lock up, literally.
Yeah,
I put about 300 of them out there, so you can actually go in and research it for yourself. But there's another 1,000 that back up everything that we're putting in.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
well, That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, people. Let us know how we did. Send it in. And if you want to be a guest on the show, all you have to do is go out to our website, click on the Connect or Contact Us page, and it sits right there. There's a button. There's another button down below that. So after you click on the first one and we get back with you, you can click on the second one. And that will help you set up a date and time in which all of us can get together and actually record your episode.
What? That sounds fun, guys. We can't wait to have you on. Pretty excited about the whole entire calendar thing. And hopefully you decide to schedule yourself.
Yep. And with that,
Bye.
We will talk to you on the next one.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.